Welcome back. Today we'll be diving into the fascinating world of United Kingdom 1 shilling coins. The shilling, once a vital part of the British pre-decimal currency system, has captured the attention of collectors around the globe. While millions were minted between the 16th century and the final pre-decimal issues in 1974, certain years, mint marks, and conditions make specific shillings far more valuable than others. In this video, we'll explore the top 5 most valuable UK 1 shilling coins, highlighting why they're rare, what features make them stand out, and how much they can fetch at auction in different conditions. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 1 shilling coin from 1953, particularly in fine condition. While the shilling might seem like an ordinary coin from mid-20th century Britain, it carries both historical and collectible significance that makes it a fascinating subject for anyone passionate about coins. In this video, we'll explore its background, what makes it unique, how collectors view it in both fine and damaged condition, its rarity, and of course, its current auction market value in US dollars. The year 1953 was monumental for the United Kingdom, as it marked the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. To commemorate the event, Britain issued a full set of coins bearing the young Queen's portrait for the very first time. Among these coins was the 1 shilling piece, a denomination that had existed for centuries but was now entering a new era under a new monarch. At the time, 1 shilling equaled 12 pence, forming an essential part of Britain's pre-decimal currency system. The 1 shilling coin of 1953 came in 2 different varieties: the English crest shilling, featuring the crowned lion standing atop a crown, and the Scottish crest shilling, displaying a crowned shield with a lion rampant. Both varieties were struck in large numbers, but they remain historically significant as part of Elizabeth II's very first coinage set. This coin measures about 23.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 5.65 grams. It was struck in cupronickel, as silver had been abandoned from British circulating coins in 1947. The obverse design features the youthful effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Mary Gillick. What sets this portrait apart is its fresh, uncluttered style. The Queen is depicted without a crown, wearing a simple laurel wreath, which gave the coinage of 1953 a distinctly modern look for its time. On the reverse, depending on the variety, you either see the English crest or the Scottish crest, both surrounded by the words FID Def 1 shilling and the date 1953. Collectors often appreciate the coin's design not just for its artistry but for the symbolic emphasis on both England and Scotland within the United Kingdom. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1953 1 shilling is not considered scarce in the general sense. Millions were minted for circulation. However, the intrigue lies in the condition and the context. Since these coins were heavily used in daily transactions for decades before decimalization in 1971, finding them in pristine condition is far more difficult than it might initially seem. In fine condition, the coin shows noticeable wear but retains its design details clearly enough to be collectible. Damaged or heavily worn coins are extremely common, but surprisingly, they still attract a modest collector market. Why? Because many enthusiasts want to build a full 1953 coronation set, and even lower-grade examples of each denomination hold some nostalgic and historical value. That said, demand for heavily damaged coins is significantly lower, and they often trade only at their base or minimal collectible value. So, how much is a 1953 1 shilling coin worth today? In fine condition, its value in the auction market generally falls between $321,000, depending on whether it's the English or Scottish type and the level of preservation. Higher grade specimens, especially in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, can command $114,000 or more. Collectors with a sharp eye will note that uncirculated examples with full luster and minimal contact marks tend to sell quickly at auctions because they represent the coin's original beauty from the year of issue. On the other hand, coins that are heavily damaged, bent, or corroded rarely exceed $1 in value and are often sold in bulk lots. While they may hold sentimental value, the true market is focused on coins with sharper detail and cleaner surfaces. If you're interested in adding a 1953 1 shilling to your collection, here are a few tips. Decide whether you want the English crest, the Scottish crest, or both. Many collectors aim for a matched pair. While fine condition is affordable, if you can, aim for higher grade examples. They not only look more impressive but also retain value better in the long term. Since 1953 coins were often collected as coronation year sets, you may sometimes find the 1 shilling included alongside other denominations. Buying as a set can be a great way to acquire higher quality pieces, Buy from reputable dealers. Counterfeits of low-value coins are rare, but misattributions or cleaned coins can still be an issue. Always purchase from trusted sellers or established auction houses. In summary, the 1953 United Kingdom One Shilling coin may not be one of the rarest British coins ever minted, but it holds undeniable historical charm. As part of Queen Elizabeth II's first coinage issue, it represents the beginning of a new royal era. In fine condition, it carries modest auction value, generally a few dollars, but in uncirculated condition, it can fetch significantly higher prices among collectors. Whether you collect for history, beauty, or investment, the 1953 One Shilling is a worthwhile addition, and with careful attention to condition and variety, it can become a standout piece in your collection. Next up, the United Kingdom's One Shilling coin, dated 1954, in fine condition. This particular coin is not only an artifact from post-war Britain but also an intriguing piece for collectors due to its unique background, scarcity in the numismatic market, and the prices it can command at auctions today. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just beginning your journey, the 1954 One Shilling offers plenty of reasons to capture your interest. The One Shilling coin has a long and important role in Britain's pre-decimal coinage system. Before decimalisation in 1971, the shilling was equal to 12 pence and represented 1/20th of a pound sterling. The 1954 issue falls under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had only recently ascended the throne in 1952 after the death of her father, King George VI. This makes the early 1950s coins of Elizabeth II historically significant, as they mark the beginning of a new royal era. Interestingly, 1954 was a year of very limited coinage production in Britain. For various denominations, including the shilling, mintages were either low or restricted, making surviving examples much harder to come by compared to earlier and later years. The 1954 One Shilling coin is easily identifiable by its design. On the obverse, it features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. This youthful effigy shows the Queen uncrowned, facing right, and was used on coins from 1953 until the mid-1960s. The reverse varies depending on whether the coin is the English or Scottish type. The English version displays the Crown Shield of England with the inscription FID Def One Shilling, while the Scottish version shows the Crown Shield of Scotland. Both types were produced, and each carries its own appeal to collectors, though both are difficult to acquire from 1954 due to the low minting figures. The coin is made of cupronickel, as silver content had been removed from British coins after 1946. When discussing rarity, the 1954 One Shilling is often highlighted as one of the scarcer Elizabethan-era coins in circulation. Unlike more common dates, this coin is not often found in bulk lots or everyday collections. Even in damaged, heavily circulated, or bent condition, the coin attracts interest because of its scarcity. Collectors who are working to build complete sets of Queen Elizabeth II's pre-decimal coins know that missing dates, like 1954, can create frustrating gaps in their albums. As a result, demand remains relatively strong even for imperfect examples, which often still fetch higher than average prices compared to other mid-century shillings. In today's numismatic market, the 1954 One Shilling in fine condition typically commands values ranging from $421,000, depending on whether it is the English or Scottish variety. The Scottish type, in some cases, can be slightly more sought after, nudging values toward the higher end. Coins in very fine or extremely fine condition can easily exceed $50 to $216,000, particularly when sold at reputable auctions or to dedicated collectors. Proof-like or exceptional specimens, though extremely rare, have occasionally reached even higher prices, sometimes in the few $100 range. It's also worth noting that prices fluctuate depending on overall demand, with auctions sometimes sparking bidding wars for particularly well-preserved examples. If you're considering adding a 1954 One Shilling to your collection, there are a few key tips to keep in mind. First, always determine whether you are looking at the English or Scottish type, as having both adds greater completeness to your collection. Second, pay close attention to condition. While fine condition is desirable, higher grade examples are considerably rarer and can offer stronger long-term investment potential. Third, avoid overly polished or cleaned coins, as these can lose their collector value. It's also wise to purchase from trusted dealers or established auction houses to ensure authenticity. Finally, keep an eye on market trends. Because this coin has a relatively low survival rate in top condition, Demand is unlikely to fade, making it a sound addition for serious collectors of British coinage. The United Kingdom One Shilling coin of 1954 stands as a fascinating and rare piece of numismatic history. It represents the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a period that holds significant historical and cultural meaning for Britain. With its limited mintage, distinctive designs, and enduring collector appeal, this coin has carved out a respected place in the world of coin collecting. Whether in fine condition or even slightly damaged, it continues to attract steady interest and respectable auction values in dollars. For collectors seeking both history and rarity, the 1954 One Shilling is a coin well worth pursuing. Next up, the United Kingdom One Shilling coin from the year 1962, specifically in circulated fine condition. While at first glance this coin may appear ordinary, it carries with it a wealth of history, unique features, and collector interest that make it a worthwhile piece to discuss. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting out in coin collecting, this 1962 One Shilling has a story that deserves attention. The shilling was a key denomination in British currency for centuries, worth 1/20th of a pound, or 12 pence, in the old pre-decimal system. By 1962, Britain was still several years away from decimalisation, which came in 1971. The coinage of the early 1960s reflected not only the country's long monetary traditions but also the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had taken the throne in 1952. The 1962 shilling was part of the standard circulating currency of the United Kingdom, produced by the Royal Mint in significant numbers. It came in two different reverse designs, the English version featuring the crowned lion standing on the crown, and the Scottish version displaying the crowned Scottish lion rampant. Both variations carried national pride and cultural symbolism, making them historically significant. The 1962 One Shilling was struck in cupronickel, as silver content had been removed from circulating British coinage after 1947. Measuring 23.5 millimeters in diameter and weighing approximately 5.65 grams, the coin's design stood out with a modern portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. This young portrait, crafted by sculptor Mary Gillick, depicted the Queen wearing a laurel wreath, an image that collectors often admire for its classical elegance. On the reverse, depending on the version, the lion emblems of England or Scotland were displayed, each topped with a crown, with the date and denomination inscribed around the design. These details give the 1962 shilling its own character, representing both artistry and national identity. When it comes to rarity, the 1962 One Shilling is not considered one of the scarcest British coins. Millions were struck for circulation, meaning that examples in worn or damaged condition are fairly common. However, even coins in fine condition where the design is clear but shows moderate wear retain appeal among collectors. In damaged or heavily circulated states, such coins often serve as affordable entry points for beginner collectors, allowing them to own a tangible piece of pre-decimal British history. While a pristine uncirculated coin can be significantly more valuable, the 1962 shilling in fine condition still holds historical charm. Some collectors specifically look for coins with signs of wear, as they tell the story of decades of use in everyday transactions. The market value of a 1962 One Shilling in circulated fine condition is modest but steady. Typically, such coins sell for about $534,000 on the collector's market, depending on the specific reverse design and overall wear. Examples in better condition can fetch higher prices, with extremely fine or uncirculated specimens reaching anywhere from $321,000, sometimes more at auction if in pristine condition or part of a desirable lot. Although the coin is not rare in the strictest sense, its market value is influenced by collector demand, historical context, and the appeal of assembling complete sets of pre-decimal coinage. For collectors interested in acquiring a 1962 shilling, condition should always be a primary consideration. While fine condition coins are accessible, it is worth keeping an eye out for higher grade examples that may appreciate in value over time. Pay attention to whether you are purchasing the English or Scottish reverse version, as some collectors prefer one over the other, or aim to collect both as part of a complete set. Additionally, when buying, always ensure that coins are authentic and sourced from reputable dealers or auctions. If you already own a coin in damaged condition, do not be discouraged. Such coins still carry educational and historical value and can serve as great starting points for building a collection. The 1962 United Kingdom One Shilling is a coin that, while not rare in the strictest sense, embodies a rich blend of history, artistry, and cultural significance. In circulated fine condition, it remains an affordable yet valuable piece for collectors, especially those who cherish the legacy of pre-decimal British currency. Its modest market value makes it accessible, while its story ensures it holds a special place in numismatic history. Whether you are collecting for investment, education, or simply for the love of coins, the 1962 1 shilling offers a fascinating glimpse into Britain's monetary past. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 shilling from 1964 in excellent condition. While shillings were once everyday currency in Britain, many people don't realise that certain dates and conditions make them quite collectible. This particular 1964 issue, although not extremely rare, carries historical value, a unique design, and auction interest, especially when preserved in excellent condition. In this video, we will explore its history, its features, the demand in the numismatic market, and of course, its current auction value in US dollars. The 1 shilling coin has a long and rich history in the United Kingdom, dating back centuries. By 1964, Britain was still using the pre-decimal currency system, where 20 shillings made up a pound. The 1964 1 shilling was part of this traditional system that was soon to change dramatically with the decimalisation process in 1971. The coin features Queen Elizabeth II, who had been on the throne for just over a decade at that time. This period was marked by a sense of transition and modernisation within the United Kingdom, and the currency reflected that era. While the 1964 issue was struck in large numbers, it still represents an important moment in British history just before the great change to decimal coinage. What makes the 1964 shilling visually appealing and historically interesting are its distinct design features. On the obverse, you'll find the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by sculptor Mary Gillick, a design that was used on British coins from 1953 until 1970. It shows the Queen without a crown, giving the coin a simple yet elegant look that collectors appreciate. The reverse side of the coin depended on whether it was minted for England or Scotland. England's version displays the traditional 3 lions passant guardant, while the Scottish version features a lion rampant. Both designs are crowned and surrounded by inscriptions that represent the unity of the United Kingdom. These design variations add to the coin's charm, and collectors often seek to own both types. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1964 1 shilling is not among the scarcest coins in British numismatics. Millions were produced, and many survive today. However, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in its desirability. Circulated coins, especially those with scratches, dents, or corrosion, are very common and usually hold only nominal value. Still, there are collectors who enjoy acquiring even worn or damaged examples for the sake of completing a collection. Demand for damaged coins is modest, but in excellent condition, particularly with sharp details, good luster, and minimal, where the coin becomes significantly more attractive in the market. In some cases, collectors focus on obtaining sets of these coins by year or by the English and Scottish reverse variations, making the 1964 issue a necessary piece. So, what can you expect in terms of value if you own a 1964 1 shilling in excellent condition? On average, circulated examples might only fetch between $531,000 in today's market. However, coins graded as excellent, or near uncirculated, can command higher prices. Depending on the specific condition, luster, and sharpness of detail, a 1964 1 shilling in excellent condition might sell at auction for around $314,000. In extremely high grades, especially if professionally graded and slabbed, values can even push into the $221,000 range. While not considered a high-value rarity, the coin's worth is supported by its historical significance and the growing interest of collectors in pre-decimal British currency. For collectors interested in the 1964 1 shilling, there are a few important tips to keep in mind. First, always pay attention to condition. A coin in excellent condition will always be more desirable than one in poor shape, even if both are the same date. Second, try to collect both the English and Scottish reverse versions, as this will enhance the completeness of your collection. Third, consider storing your coins properly using coin flips, capsules, or albums to preserve their condition and prevent further wear or damage. Finally, stay informed about auction listings and numismatic forums, where you might discover rare variations, errors, or high-grade examples that can significantly boost the value of your collection. In conclusion, The 1964 United Kingdom One Shilling may not be one of the rarest coins out there, but it is a fascinating piece of British monetary history that continues to hold appeal among collectors. Its elegant design, historical context just before decimalisation, and availability in both English and Scottish reverses make it an engaging coin to own. While its market value in excellent condition typically ranges from a modest $5 to $15, the true worth lies in its charm, collectability, and the role it plays in completing a pre-decimal collection. If you're a collector, this coin deserves a place in your collection, not for its rarity alone but for its enduring connection to Britain's coinage heritage. Next up, the United Kingdom One Shilling coin from 1960 in fine condition. This coin is part of the rich tapestry of British currency history and holds a special place among collectors worldwide. While it's not considered a rare coin in the strictest sense, its historical context, unique design variations, and the condition it's found in make it an interesting and worthwhile addition to any collection. In this video, we'll explore its fascinating history, design, rarity, auction market value in US dollars, and tips to help you get the most from your collecting experience. The One Shilling coin has a deep history in the United Kingdom, dating back centuries. By 1960, the coin was an essential part of Britain's pre-decimal currency system, where £1 equaled 20 shillings. This was a time when Britain was still rooted in traditional coinage but slowly moving toward modernization, with decimalisation on the horizon in the early 1970s. The 1961 shilling coin was issued under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had been on the throne for less than a decade. This was also a period when two versions of the shilling were being minted, one representing England and one representing Scotland, symbolising the unity of the UK but also reflecting its rich regional heritage. The 1961 shilling coin stands out for its detailed and meaningful design. On the obverse, the coin features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Mary Gillick. This elegant portrait, without a crown, was a departure from the more formal and traditional images of monarchs used previously, lending a fresh and modern look to the currency of the time. On the reverse, the design differs depending on whether the coin was minted for England or Scotland. The English version depicts the three lions passant guardant, crowned, while the Scottish version features a crowned lion rampant, both surrounded by the words FID Def One Shilling. These two variations give collectors an added layer of interest when building a complete set. When it comes to rarity, the 1961 shilling coin is not particularly scarce. Millions were produced and circulated widely across the UK. However, condition plays a huge role in determining value and collectability. Coins in fine condition, meaning lightly circulated with visible details but some signs of wear, are more desirable than heavily worn examples. Damaged or corroded coins are very common and usually hold only small, nominal value. Yet there is still modest demand for damaged or lower-grade examples among entry-level collectors or those completing sets. For collectors who appreciate history over condition, even well-worn coins can hold sentimental or educational value. But the real interest, especially in auctions, lies in coins that have survived the decades in better-than-average condition. So how much is the 1961 shilling coin worth today? In average circulated condition, these coins generally sell for about $634,000 in the US market. In fine condition, where most of the details are clear and the coin shows less wear, values can climb to around $531,000 depending on the specific variant, English or Scottish reverse, and the buyer's interest. Exceptional specimens, especially those graded higher than fine such as very fine or extremely fine, may bring $321,000 at auction, especially if the coin has been properly stored and retains much of its original detail and luster. While it's not a jackpot coin, its steady market presence makes it a solid and affordable addition to a collection of pre-decimal British currency. If you're looking to add a 1961 shilling coin to your collection, here are some valuable tips. First, be aware of the two different reverse designs, English and Scottish, and aim to collect both for a more complete set. Second, always focus on condition. Coins in fine or very fine condition will hold their value far better than heavily worn examples. Third, store your coins in protective holders or albums to prevent damage and preserve their condition over time. Fourth, check online auction sites, reputable coin dealers, and coin shows for higher grade examples, and don't forget to compare prices to ensure you're getting a fair deal. Finally, Consider having especially nice examples professionally graded if you believe they might be in extremely fine or uncirculated condition. A certified grade can boost its appeal at resale. In conclusion, the 1960 United Kingdom 1 shilling coin may not be rare in the traditional sense, but it offers collectors a rich slice of British history. Its dual reverse designs, elegant portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II, and connection to the pre-decimal era make it a standout coin for enthusiasts. In fine condition, its auction market value generally ranges from $314,000, with higher grade examples reaching $213,000. While not a coin that will make you rich overnight, its historical importance and affordability make it an excellent choice for both beginner and seasoned collectors alike. So if you're passionate about British coinage or looking to build a pre-decimal collection, the 1961 shilling deserves a place in your collection. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more episodes on rare coins.